All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing great. Oh, my Lord. We have a busy chat log already, don't we? Luna, welcome to Tier 2. Thank you for your support, for joining the channel and supporting us. That is amazing. Thank you, Luna. Wow. Let's see if I can get caught up on some of this here. So let's see here. These one of the top videos, but I do have a few questions regarding magic. Okay. Welcome, Celestia. Good to see you. You can ask your questions here as long as they're YouTube appropriate. We got to stay within the lines of YouTube, which usually means around age 17-ish, give or take a few. Well, actually, keep it around 17-ish. Stay off of the topics of like don't talk about suicide, stuff like that, or drugs. We've had to get onto a few people for those. But you can also pop over to the Discord, which there's a link in the About section here on the channel. And you can also ask questions over there. So it looks like everyone here has been able to do that. Okay, this is a lot. So I will not be able to read through all this. I'll need you guys to probably post the questions now that I'm here, because that is a massive backlog. And Terror, welcome. I see you was trying to help Celeste out back there. I said I can't read all that, but thank you for trying to help. That was very kind of you. A12, good to see you. Animal Man, welcome back. Dizzy, also good to see you. And Coral, welcome. And Jade, good to see you as well. Seems like I saw someone else's name already. And am I missing it? I thought I saw. There you are, Tony. Tony, there you are. Welcome. Glad to see you. I knew I saw another name somewhere in there. If I missed somebody's name, I do apologize. Again, my little chat log over here is kind of tiny. Wizard Warrior, good to see you. Wow, we got a full house in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. The algorithm really loves that. Lets YouTube know y'all enjoy what we're doing, and they show it to more people. This has been a crazy busy week for me. We've had like 4 or 5 different five research projects going at one time. I've had some friends that I've had to help them with their stuff, so that's been going. This has definitely been one of those weeks where I think if I counted everything up, I may have had 8 hours sleep since last Friday. But it has been a very, very busy week, though a good one. Many of you may have even noticed I messed up and launched the vlog at 12:30 a.m. instead of 12:30 in the afternoon. Part of that is because of how busy we got, and I do apologize for that. Because a lot of you didn't get to see the notification that it went live due to the timing. I do apologize for that. To all the channel members who have signed up for the different tiers, thank you very much for your support. Tier 3, the new discount code for the merch is available. The spell working for Tier 2 was completed on the 2nd. So that's up and going, and we will be preparing to get ready for next month's as well. And I am wanting my goal. This is a goal. I'm wanting to have some Tier 2 and 3 videos up within the next week or two, as well as schedule the next member-only live stream. So I do apologize. I am cray busy right now, but I am trying to get more stuff out to y'all. And I do appreciate it. Also, we will be doing some videos to talk about this, but one of our very own, Jade Morningstars, you can see her in the chat here, recently launched a website where she does custom engraving, and I forgot to turn my phone off again. Leave that to me. And she is actually offering some stuff from Working Dragon Mystic for magical uses and purposes. And she was kind enough to send some of it to me before she even put it on the site because she wanted to make sure I was okay with it. The stuff is absolutely gorgeous. I will be doing videos spotlighting and showing you the stuff that she sent me because it is wonderful. And I will try to drop a link in the description when the video re-uploads so you all can pop over there and check it out. Magnificent stuff. And for those in Dragon Magic 102, you should have got an email, but if you didn't, if you go into part 3 where we start talking about specialty dragons at the bottom, you'll see a new video has been added. That video is talking about special sigil plaques for all the specialty dragons in Dragon Magic 102. And you can find a link to her website as well as an access code. Those plaques are specially available to only Dragon Magic 102 students, and you can get literally all the specialty dragons available. They are amazing. I did a video reviewing them for y'all, but trust me, they are the real deal. They are quality. I'm looking to get, honestly, all the specialty dragons for all the courses if she's willing to do it. So it's great to see someone who loves dragon magic and this practice so much and to give back. It's really awesome. So Jade, thank you very much for that. It is amazing. Now, with all the business, how about we look into some questions if we got them? Tara's got spaghetti. Rock on. Please don't feel the. If you don't know, don't feed thought forms. That's a bad thing. Like Tara, I appreciate you helping them. I really do. Mainly it's just chatting. Yeah, I figured it was just mostly chatting. That's why I didn't waste the. I mean, we're here live. It'd be bad to waste time. Wizard Warrior, what's good? Honestly, doing pretty good. Got me some good coffee. Been a good week. As the vlog stated, hopefully y'all did see it. If you didn't watch it due to my mistake of when I launched it, please go back and watch it. Let's try and get those numbers back up on it because, whoo, yeah, my friends have been making fun of me for that one. I am taking the health, eating, and metaphysical energy research to the next level now, as I described in that vlog. So I can honestly say I am still losing weight. My energy levels have still been through the roof metaphysically and physically. And really, this week I needed them. It's really come in handy. So I'm really looking forward to see where the long term on this research goes. So stay tuned to those vlogs because I will be covering it in the vlogs as well as many other topics. And we do have more topics on the Goetic Spirits coming out. And we are also looking at actually filming more rituals, showing me, walking you through an actual ritual on how to work with these entities, and possibly adding more meditation style videos to the channel as well. We got a lot planned for the year. It's going to be fun. And we jumped. Okay. I'm behind. I apologize. You're being popular. So much to keep jumping. You ain't kidding. Excusium asks, can I read energy? Yeah, I've been reading energy for years. I actually use it to get a beat on people during business meetings, poker games, and other things. I don't do it as a service, though. Jade, thank you for the shout out. No problem. No, you earned it. You earned it. I asked you to put your work on the table and see if it held up to my standards, and you did that. You earned it. Okay, Celeste, you got a question. Cool. All right. Where's the question? Let's see. Crap. We're jumping all over the place here. Celeste, I was recently in a meditation. I was trying to awaken my inner dragon and saw a huge black dragon with fiery molten lava like eyes. It was so huge I could barely see it. Is that my inner dragon or guardian dragon, and what type of dragon was it? It if you're talking about an inner dragon, here's what you got to understand. There's a lot of spiritual and philosophical viewpoints around dragons. As far as a literal inner dragon, we don't have one. It would kill us. It would literally destroy us and erase us from existence to house that kind of power in us. When we use the term inner dragon, it's more of a metaphor for our creative energy within ourselves. In fact, it's probably better referred to as Kundalini energy. It's the same thing. There are a lot of authors who have tried to twist this to make it into something else and try to create it into like a guardian angel style dragon, which it is not. So what you probably saw, if I don't know the meditation process, there's a lot of details in there I don't know, and it's going to make this difficult, but I'll do my best. But in most likelihood, what you saw was a manifestation of that Kundalini energy through a draconic spectrum, because that was the visualization and the references that you were using for it. That's actually pretty common. Let's see, I haven't done shadow work in a while. Anything you can tell that can help the process? Keep a journal. We did do a video here, Wizard Warrior, on basic shadow work to get one started. That is a really good process to get started, especially if you've never done it. But also, if you've put it off for a long time, it's a great way to help ease the process and declutter as you dive back into your normal shadow working process. Beyond that, the best thing you can do, without going really in depth here, because shadow work is not an easy process and it's a little more than I can cover in a quick question, but honesty. You have to be absolutely 100% bare, candid, honest with yourself, and you have to be ready to face that. Those would be the two main tips, mate. When are you going to start or do more of the 72 angel videos you spoke of? Oh, they're already started. They're not posted, but we have started the 72 angels. So we only have so much time to get so many videos up, but they are started. And it's actually been a lot of fun to be working on them, because I get to touch base with those angels again, and it has been a while. So they will be coming up soon. I do know that through the holidays, depending on what happens with the holidays, we usually try to do a few videos based around the holidays to help practitioners out, especially those of us like myself who's not really religious. We just focus on the magic, but we still like to work with the energy patterns. So I am trying to do more of a holiday series to fill that void in there. So that's also going to add to some of the workload too, A12. I do apologize they're taking so long. I will try to bump the first one up in the video list quickly. I'll do my best, mate. So let's see. Oh, do remember, if you have a really important question, because we are crowded in here tonight, which is awesome. We do have the super chats, small donation. It'll pop it up on the screen. Make sure I see it. Don't miss it, because it does jump around in the chat some, and I do miss questions. I apologize for that. But also do not spam. We actually had an individual in here last week, continued to ask the same question even after we answered his question. I will have the moderators remove your stuff if that happens. So please don't do that. It's okay, like if like it's scrolled through a time or two and you ask it, that's fine. But this person was like posting it every 2 comments. Don't spam. All right. See where we're at here. I've been trying to connect with Odin. I've been called to connect with him, and I was recently told by someone that I was claimed as a child of Odin. That may be the case. Technically, you have free will. You have a choice. You can do that. But Odin is a wonderful entity to connect with. I work with Odin quite a bit. I enjoy working with him. So yeah, good luck there. Let's see. Also, let's get those likes up, people. We got 23 people, 16 likes. I'm not that ugly. Let's hit the thumbs up. Eshion, can I make a video about the afterlife? Yeah, yeah. I'll have to work on an outline because that's a broad topic. I mean, you could make 100 videos on the afterlife and never really cover the material. So if I do the video, I'm going to have to do a broad sweep of it and do it justice. So give me some time to work on that one for you. But that is actually a good video idea. Adam asks, has the goddess Freya ever had romantic relationships with her followers? Yeah. In fact, I'd say you'd be more hard pressed to find a god or goddess that has not done so at some point in their lifetime. The gods are not what you would call monogamous per se. And they definitely don't hold to our humanistic limitations. So yeah, it's something that's been mentioned a few times throughout different communities and circles. And yeah, the thing is, it's also at the same time, there's a lot of people who want to give themselves a gold star because it's like, look, I'm in a relationship with Freya. Yeah, great. That's between you two, but it does not make you special. So don't let it get your ego fired up. I've seen a lot of people get their ego up on that. Let's see, Wizard Warrior, I noticed that when I wanted to increase or start up my internal fire energy, coffee or hot chocolate is the best with that. It's a balancing and relaxing energy, but also able to something with intensity. Actually, both of those are actually really good for energy work. I'm actually glad you mentioned the hot chocolate because that is one that is overlooked. I actually wonder if that's one of the reasons, like I think it was the Aztec culture drank chocolate so much in ceremonies. But yeah, both of those are actually really great for energy work. The Purified, hey, welcome. Glad you could make it tonight. Oh, we jumped. Oh, we jumped big. Okay. A12 asked Drake if I ever watched the 300 movie. Um, well, let's not worry about answering, if we've seen 300 in here because we don't want to spam the chat with it. I have seen the movie 300. I thought it was a relatively good movie, and definitely an interesting artistic adaptation of that story. I got to say, I actually did enjoy it. So, see, Terror, I'm trying so hard to hold my questions. I want everyone else to have a chance. Not chatting is difficult for me. LOL. Terror, ask a question. You got it? Pop it down there. Pop it down there. D20 or nope, that's 2D. Ask why do demons flee from the name of Jesus? They actually don't. They actually do not. You will not find any actual what we refer to as demons that actually flee from that name because they are the exact same entities as angels. Exactly the same entities. It's just one grouping, what we call angels, is more law, order, structure based, where one is more free and chaotic, but they both have the exact same goals entirely. They're not a matter of good or evil. However, what it is that is fleeing and is wrongly identified is negative thought forms, human spirits that are negative, and negative energy patterns that will actually retreat from the name of Jesus. Now, that's the way it is. But anytime there's a negative thing, people want to label it as a demon. And we've gotten to using that word way too liberally. First off, the term demon used to mean daemon, which was a very specific thing and had nothing to do with evil spirits at all. And most of the demons that we talk about today are actually highly intelligent, beneficial spirits, and or were once viewed as gods and are gods. It's just a publicist basically tried to put a spin doctor on it and give them a negative reputation in order to prop up one specific religious belief and viewpoint. And for the longest time, it wasn't that big of a deal until, well, Hollywood came in. Because for the longest time, religions were religions. You know, everybody had their thoughts. But when Hollywood started propping it up because it sold, now people are having trouble actually getting back to the reality of the situation. Hope that helps you a little bit, 2D. So Lauren, welcome. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. And why is my lighting weird in here today? Huh. It's like the second time. I'm gonna have to work on my lighting. I think it might be the camera. I think the camera I'm using is darker on this side for some reason. Might have to adjust my lights. Okay, sorry about that. Squirrel. Corel, I hit the like button. Thanks, Coral. Appreciate that. See, Adam. What was the most beautiful place that you have astrally traveled to? Adam, that would be a hard one. I get asked that question actually quite a bit. And so many of these realms are so very beautiful for so drastically different reasons. I mean, even if we just use the Norse realms, the 9 realms, all those realms to me are beautiful without being able to put on a scale. If like you told me to put them on a scale 1 to 10, all of them would go off the scale for very, very different reasons. They hold a very unique amount of beauty and intrigue. So because of that, it's really, really hard for me to genuinely pick that one realm that's just that one. And that's because they all do hold such a unique beauty. I'm left in awe and wonder every time I visit them. I really am. And it's not just within the 9 realms, it's all the other planes as well. That's one of the reasons I love soul travel so much. Shigun, what is the astral like? Well, the astral plane is essentially a non-formative plane that overlaps millions of other planes and therefore is actually, when I say non-formative, the energy and the ether within the very plane has no shape, no sustenance, no form of its own. It actually mirrors that which it's nearest to. So wherever you're at in the astral plane, if it's near a location, it will mirror and create a kind of foggy, distorted version of the plane it's nearest to. This is one reason the astral plane makes such a great window into other planes and is so handy for traveling the planes. However, the astral plane can only get you so far because it does not overlap all planes, but it is kind of a foggy, dully colored, always in motion and shifting sort of place. A lot of fun, though. Dizzy, Drake, what do you think about spirit totems, animal guides? I know that's kind of word salad, but I'm not sure how to put it. I scried on a mug of black and got tiger. It basically said the alpha and secretive. Here's the thing. When it comes to animal guides or spirit totems, we don't necessarily have the animal, the guide. That's it. You're locked in. That animal guide, that spirit totem will actually be what you need. and it will shift and change based on what you need. There's a lot of people who their totem is drastically different from them because it's trying to get them to grow and mature and develop closer to its traits. And then there are those who they've kind of reached this point in their life. They know who they are, they know what they are, and their totem actually shifts as a representation of that. But it also calls in other guides now. Other totems start showing up to add to it so they continue to grow, even though that foundation, that identity has so solidified. So you have a lot of different traditions that work with these things in a lot of different ways. But they are an ever-changing and progressing concept. And they're actually wonderful to work with, personally. I've had a couple wolves and ravens that's been with me for last 10, 15 years, easy. I unfortunately also tend to have spiders showing up trying to guide me, which I don't freaking like spiders. You all know that. But I understand what they're there for. I know they're trying to teach me and they're working with me, and I'm working on that. But yeah, animal spirits and animal guides are magnificent. There has kind of been a intellectual cult or even a spiritual cult popped up around them, to where the fluidity of the spirit guides and their ability to help has been tossed out for once you have your guide, that's it. You're stuck. You're locked in. This is who you are. And these are very judgmental people, because they will actually judge you and determine how their opinion of you entirely based on whatever animal spirits around you. And that is that's disgusting behavior. It really is. You're prejudging someone based on an arbitrary thing. Liz, hey, bugs up to you, Liz. Good to see you. Wait, that's not Liz, is it? Leah, welcome. There's a tiny little name on there. Celeste, Drake, do you believe that we are not completely man, but are partially related to mythological creatures, etc.? Actually, no, I don't. I have actually seen nothing to collaborate this. In fact, in my journeys on the planes, this is something I've asked a lot about. So far, every entity out there says nada, no, we are not. We are humans, and that is that. We are a species that is young. We are in diapers, and we are still growing. The only one exception to that would be the Fae, and very, very humanoid Fae at that. Not centaurs, not any of those weird ones out there. Have at times had relationships and shared bloodlines with the human race. But, and this is important, it has been made very clear by the Fae Queens themselves that that bloodline does not alter the human at all genetically. It might allow them an easier access into the study and practice of the occult arts and magic, but it does not do anything else. And because of that, it still takes their discipline, it still takes their focus, it still takes their years of study. And the queens themselves actually feel it's actually best that these individuals not even know of that heritage, because it breeds arrogance, and that arrogance creates fault within their progression. So that's generally where I'm at, and no one's been able to show anything to actually data to prove otherwise. There's a lot of people that have opinions, but you all know I am kind of a more evidence-based. Did the Anunnaki create humans? They took part in the creation, but they did not create us. Every creator entity and every pantheon all took part in the creation of the material plane, and as such, also us as a species. So not one single one gets the credit. Born, good to see you, my man. You have been like AWOL forever. I was about to message you, see if you are still alive, boy. Good to see you, mate. Purified. My thoughts on ayahuasca is that by and large, I am against any mind altering substance used in spirituality and magic. That's my thoughts straight across the board. I know there's traditions that use them, and to those traditions, that's their bag. Me personally, I'm against it because I believe in self mastery. Self mastery comes from self. If I need a beverage, if I need an herb, if I need something to do my rituals or my magic, that's not me. That's not me doing it. That is me needing a crutch. That's not self mastery. Um, and there are a lot of dangers also involved in that. And that's one reason I am very much against these substances. And they do have very addictive properties and they can be very mentally damaging as well. So, yeah, um, when it comes to me, I'm against it. And when it comes to my students, I actually teach them not to use it. And as long as they are working with me and working through the homework and the rituals and the practices that I'm training them with, they are off the table. And if I find out they're using them, that's it. We're done. Let's see. Let's see. Terror are spirit animals that Native Americans have and hold close to, different from any other spirit animals that non-natives may have. Nope. 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 Here's the thing: spirit animals aren't animals. They're not animals. They take the shape of an animal because it's something that relates to us on the physical realm and the physical plane. And because of this, there is lore, there is knowledge, there is wisdom, there is teachings to be gleaned from this. And you will find these teachings throughout practically every culture. Um, and even those cultures can get tossed out the window for what does this animal mean to you? So it will utilize the form of an animal within the physical realm in order to teach you and educate you and to help you grow. It's not a literal animal. Actually, Native Americans understood this. So when they spoke of these spirits, they were speaking of the form it would take and the lessons it had to teach. They weren't speaking of it in a literal, um, which I found that very confusing. But I have had the extreme honor of being have to be able to participate in a few rituals by shamans and be able to sit and spend entire weeks camping and chatting and just absorbing the wisdom of these individuals. Um, oh dear God, we got a gully washer coming. Well, they did say there was a flood warning tonight, so it's coming down now. So if you all hear this noise, that is actually the rain. Um, so yeah, they don't necessarily differentiate because of that. Herbal tea. Herbal tea is not a bad thing to be addicted to. It's actually usually pretty good for you. Celeste, thank you for your clarification of species. No problem. Well, y'all know I pretty much gave up sugar altogether. Well, at this point, I've given up just about anything but meat and coffee, haven't I? This research I'm doing's got me. I do still drink some black teas. Um, but I stay away from herbal teas because they like to sneak sugars in some of those, or even the natural sugars that occur in them. So I do steer clear of those. Don't want to contaminate my research project. See what we got here. Savon. I have a slight addiction to honey. and just use herbal tea as a justification for it. Oh, my man. I know that one. I do know that one. Like, I love honey, especially warm honey. Not like melted hot honey, just warm. And anyone who eats a lot of honey, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So I used to eat a lot of biscuits fresh from the oven just so I could put honey on it and get it to that right consistency with just a little butter melted in there. And honestly, it was just because I wanted that warm honey. So I actually absolutely know what you mean, Savon. Tara, I see animal spirits are completely different from real animal spirit. Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, they're different from the ghost of an animal that once lived. Yes. Coral has a done some herbal tea. Nothing wrong with tea. I'm more of a coffee man most of the time, but I do enjoy a good cup of tea. Oolong and Earl Grey is my favorite go-tos. That does sound amazing, Celeste, but like I said, I have completely kicked the sugar habit. I have not had sugar. Wow, it's been a while. And I do have a little bit of insulin resistance, so I'm trying to deal with that as well. And keeping carbs and sugars out is the best way to deal with that one right now for me. Luckily, it also allows me to do this little, health and energy research I've been tinkering with in the vlogs. Let's see. The word looks familiar. Octarians. Why do I know that word? Octarians. Oh, wait. You're talking about the reptilian stuff, aren't you? That's supposedly Earth. I've run into and encountered a lot of these so-called Arcturian reptilian entities in the multiverse, and some of them that have a quasi interest in Earth. None of them have yet come close to the alien / conspiracy style theories that I see in books all the time. And I got people constantly sending me books on reptilians because apparently they're taking over the world. And I'm not saying these entities aren't real, because obviously they are, because I have met some of them. It's just I've not seen any evidence of the this massive shadow conspiracy, whether positive or negative, that all these authors are writing about. And honestly, I know at least 7 of these authors that actually don't even believe what they're writing. They're just writing because the books will sell. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I think a person should have a right to make money. But I do question the morality of posting something that you think is that is going to drive someone into a line of thought that they may believe it to be fact. That bothers me a little. So yeah. Are they positive? And see, there you go. You're dealing with entities in the multiverse that are balance based. And positive doesn't necessarily mean good or bad. Positive means it has a positive effect. Technically speaking, within nature, a forest fire has a positive effect. So these entities are no different than that. And how they are going to handle that. But at this time, none of them have actually taken a full-blown active interest within the human race as a group. there might be one or two that wander the earth and have a curiosity in humans, but nothing on a large scale like is published in these books yet. And if anyone has proof of this, I'm open to it. As always, like I said, every time I check it out, I end up on a dud. And I can only, that's the thing. Y'all know I'm not really spiritual or religious. I need data. I need something to prove it. Let's see. Will aliens land on Earth? Well, I don't know, honestly. This is one of those things where I'm interested in UFOs. I am. And now here's the thing. Mind you, I use UFO in the term as it was meant, unidentified flying object. Now, technically speaking, if I take and I pilot a drone over my neighbor's house, they see it, they don't know what it is, that is a UFO because it is unidentified. Just because something's in the sky, just because we don't know what it is, don't make it aliens, people. People have took this UFO concept to be synonymous with aliens 100% every time, no matter what. That's it. End of story. We're done. And that is a very, very wrong way to handle this research. And like anything, I handle it as research and data, and I want the data. At this point in time, there are some really interesting things that have happened. And I do believe that in small spurts, potentially, some life form has landed here and perhaps left. But there's nothing to make us believe it is on large scale in any shape, form, or fashion, like many of the UFO enthusiasts would like to believe. And honestly, if they're intelligent life, I honestly think Earth is the planet that when they fly by, they roll their windows up and lock the doors and hit the gas to get by quicker. I really do. So I actually think it'd be less likely they'd land here than likely. But I do think that it at some point, sometime, one or two has landed at least at some point. The universe and the multiverse is far too large to think that our little grain of sand is the only one that houses physical life. I hope that answers your question a little bit. Let's see. Tara asks, is it okay to try shadow work digitally because notepad document rather than physical journal? And if so, do you have any tips to keep it successful? Actually, I do. And this is one thing where I will actually disagree a little with Savon, though I agree with what he's saying also. The medium can matter. It can matter. And here's why. I know a lot of people who's tried the digital medium for shadow work. And actually, I'm one of the people who recommended it because it just makes good sense. However, we've noticed an interesting trend. If you save the file directly to your hard drive, we've noticed a pattern of people's computers acting up shortly thereafter. So the going theory is that energetically speaking, the amount of energy that is contained from actually genuinely doing the shadow work and pouring that emotions into the document in which you are using to catalog the work and keep the journal can affect the physical computer if it's housed there. Interestingly enough, the solution was freaking simple. Use some kind of a cloud document like Google Documents. And ever since then, none of the individuals doing this have had an issue. So yes, it is very, very possible to use a digital format. So in that area, I do completely agree with Savon. However, given the results we've seen of what can happen to the physical machines, not always, but the percentages are high, do yourself a favor, put it on like a cloud document like Google or something so that you don't put your computer at risk. Okay? Hope that helps a little. Does that mean that instead of destroy your shadow work, Savon, you just hit the delete button? Yeah, Luna, you would actually still need to delete the file. You would. Because if you don't, the energy within the file is still there. And it actually still has a connection to you. And if you come across that energy, it can reconnect and actually recause the issues and the trauma. Do not keep that around. You're asking for trouble if you do. I actually know someone who spent 10 years cataloging and doing regular shadow work twice a year. And then after 10 years, they were doing magnificent. It was amazing. But they sat down one weekend and read through their journals. By Monday, they was in a mental institution. So take that for what it is. Because they reconnected with all of that. And that's the thing. People's like, well, it's healed. I'm fine. You know what? If you heal a bullet wound and I shoot you, you have a bullet wound. And that's exactly what happens when you reconnect. You're reopening, recreating the wounds. Let's see what we got here. See, I don't know if you do the flame rituals here. Okay, you're talking to Terror. And this time it was the twins. Freaking with my cherry, freaking little dragon butt munches. Okay, sorry about that. I have an alchemical dagger I want to forge using iron and meteorite and bronze and cool it in the water of the Nile and Styx River and water from the New Orleans River. I don't know. That'd be really interesting. I think that'd be a really interesting project. I actually did a ritual to meet the dragon who would like to assist me. They were a deep green, pink, and black. Pink blossoms growing from all over their head. Does this mean anything particular? No, it just means your dragon has an interesting style. When it comes to guardian and co-magicians, I can't say this enough. They have no energy type. They are dragons of no clan, no type at all. And because of this, they can be some of the most expressive dragons out there. And they don't have a type because in order to do the job that they're assigned to do, which is to help us grow and learn, they have to be able to equally balanced, be able to pull and work with all those energies. So yeah, their appearance can be, they've been some interesting ones over the years. I actually met one that when it ran around, it like dusted glitter everywhere. I'm really glad that was not a dragon I was working with, but when you knew the person working with the dragon, that made total sense. It made total freaking sense. But no, guardians and co's and dragons in those categories can be some of the most expressive dragons. They are adorable. Well, I mean that. Yeah, technically send all the negative files to Google. That's not really what I meant, but technically, yeah. So, but do make sure to delete it. You don't want that thing sitting around. Dizzy, great freaking question. And actually, yes, I am planning to talk about the Hermetic Principles. We did do a video on the laws of magic, and I think I mentioned them just in passing when I did that video. And yes, I am planning to do the Hermetic Principle to help people, principles to help people understand them. I want to do that video. And we are actually going to start a series talking about the Kabbalah, Tree of Life, the Sephiroth, or the spheres on the Tree of Life, and some of the things in there. Because we are actually going to be doing a course, an entire deep dive path working on the Tree of Life and working with the spheres and the pathways, and make it very approachable to the general public in this path working. So yes, the class and the path working it's a ways off, definitely, to being able to get that published on the school. But the Hermetic Principles and the Tree of Life are definitely something we're going to be putting more time in here on the channel. Just like the angels and the demons, we are trying to get more information out because we've got a good foundation for dragon magic. The dragons are very happy with their representation, and let's be honest, they needed it. Okay, they got shortchanged in most things when it comes to who's taking the time to talk about them. So we do want to bring that practical, reliable viewpoint of Magick that this channel is known for to the Tree of Life and the Hermetic Principles as well. And that is coming. Great question. And yeah, look forward to that. I'm actually really, really excited about that. I loved it when I was working through the Tree of Life, and I still actually path work it from time to time. So yeah, I'm actually hyped about that one. Let's see. Magick Kids, do you recommend doing the Temple of Witchcraft books full year each as it was done? Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, when you do a path working, which is exactly what these books are, I would actually take the time laid out in it. Do not rush through it. If you rush through it, you're only going to hurt yourself. You're only short selling yourself. And then your progress actually becomes much harder and will actually take longer. So yeah, I would definitely take the time that is allotted within those books and truly work through those lessons and truly get to know and learn those lessons. I have actually worked through each of those books. There's a reason I recommend them. I find them to be solid books with a very broad viewpoint. And Pencak does a really good job of analyzing viewpoints even outside of his own in those books. In the fifth one, actually, he talks about gun control. He is not a gun person. In fact, he was very uber pro gun control to eliminating guns. But he talks about a story where he was presented with an argument, ironically, by a metaphysical teacher in a defensive magic class. And she actually changed his mind to where he believed the choice of to protect oneself with or without a gun should be on the person, not on a external body. And that was a great story because he does do a great job of stepping outside his personal viewpoint to look at the broader picture. And I have absolute respect for Pencak for the way he did that in those books. And that is one reason you see those books linked below all in the videos, because I get asked what books can I get that's going to help. I honestly think the first 4 books in that series is 4 books that would replace 90% of most people's occult libraries. I really do. Tony, so if I keep a physical journal for shadow work, do I need to burn that notebook afterwards? Yes, you need to destroy the notebook in some ways and get rid of it. Burning is usually the preferred method. I have seen people soak them in water till they just kind of fall apart. But yeah, I would burn it. That's why in the video I said don't use your standard journal for shadow work. Get a special one because you really do need to destroy that thing. And that's also why in the video I said don't put it under your pillow. I know, oh dear God, that putting that energy under your head while you sleep or even beside your bed, that's a great way to mess with your head. So don't put it under your pillow either. Asking, is it possible to astral project? Nope, it is not possible to astral project to a world that you created and leave your physical vessel permanently. Because astral projection is not the entirety of you, and you would have to take the entirety of you, and you would have to maintain, even for that to work, let's assume you took the entirety of you, you'd have to maintain your focus for well more than 60 days. Because I know someone who's attempted this before in a medical facility where their body was essentially able to be kept alive, and they still could not manage the mental focus and discipline to create a full transition to the new location. And the thing is, for that location, you're going to need an anchor, because if you have not ascended, You are a physical being. I don't care where you move to in the multiverse. You are a physical being and thus need a physical body. If you have created that plane in the astral, it is not a physical plane, thus creating an impossibility. Let's see, Sarah, do you think it is possible to separate yourself physically from your shadow, and what would happen? Technically speaking, it is possible, and it would actually drive you insane and ruin your life. Your shadow is very much a part of you. It is a part of you as an entirety. To separate yourself from your shadow is to literally scar, mutilate, and violate your very spiritual essence and being on a very on the very core of your creation. And that is something that could actually render it so, a, first off, your life's just going to go crap. um, Murphy's law is just going to move in and take over in your life. Now, past that, you do get into some speculation territory, because this is just, first off, you don't want to do that. That's crazy. But it is speculated that if you mutilate and damage a portion of your soul to that extent, ascent becomes impossible. It becomes absolutely impossible. I've seen people who have attempted this, and they had to do a lot of healing work. And the people I do know, honestly, their life is still a wreck. They're still working on it. And I do wish them the best. But no, you do not want to do that. And if any of these spiritualists out here are trying to convince you to destroy your shadow self, don't do that. That is literally a part of you. That is you. You will be killing yourself. And that is not good on any spiritual doctrine at all. The multiverse will not take kindly to that. Luna, yeah, ripping it to pieces and throwing it in water will work too. 7 LVX, could one reside in their astral temple after physical death? Technically, yes. The particular fragment in which is in existence and inhabiting your meat suit at this time could easily do that. Assuming you haven't reached ascent. If you've reached ascent, then all the fragments are going to join into the true form of you and the personality which is the truest of you, which at the time of ascent is also usually the form and the personality in which achieved it. So that'd be this particular personality, for example. And then, yeah, at ascent, you could easily choose that too. But if you've not achieved ascent, then the rest of you is going to continue to cycle through all those little pieces. And yeah, Tara's absolutely right. You have to, the physical realm is really where we learn most of it. Let's see, Celeste, thank you. Definitely wanted to gain deeper insight on this because I wanted to transmute my shadow. Well, honestly, that's what shadow work is, Celeste, is a transmutation process. You're actually working with your shadow, and you're dealing with these things that your shadow tends to, it's a very protective, it is actually a very strong part of you. The reason shadow work is so hard is everything you want to hide from, everything you don't want to deal with, your shadow's like, all right, here, I'll take it. I'll deal with it. I'll hang on to that. And it's trying to protect you from these things. The problem is it becomes so overloaded that you and it you're trying to do this while all it's trying to do is deal with all this baggage you've dumped on it. And now it looks like that cartoon character who's carrying all the luggage and he can't do nothing. So shadow work is actually you going through the luggage and reorganizing, dealing with all these traumas, all these fears, and all these things, and unloading, and you and the shadow being able to once again work together as a whole. So it is a transmutation process. Tony, I need to. I think we all do. I think we all do, but the path is slightly different for everyone, Tony. I'm considering doing a video. Did I do a video? I've already done a video about talking about ascent to some extent. Let me look into that. Either I've recorded one or I'm planning on it. Because ascent is an interesting topic, and it's not something where you can give a direct roadmap because everyone's road's a little different, but there are a few key points you can talk about. So let's, okay, thank you. No problem. That's why we're here. No, you didn't. Okay, it's either in the queue or to release, or it's in the queue to be filmed. Because I know I've talked about this, so I've either got it ready to film or it's in the queue, Tony. So keep an eye out for that one. But the short form of it, because we got someone else here. Leah here asked, "Can I explain achieving ascent?" Yeah. The short form of ascent is we are here within the physical realm in order to learn and grow. Humans, as an entirety of our species, we are little bitty baby entities. We're not even out of diapers, not even close to it. We're not even crawling in the great multiverse of entities when it comes to our maturity level. Now, the physical realm is kind of our training ground. This is where we learn. And the entire process of reincarnation is part of what allows us to learn. It allows us to experience multiple things from multiple views within this physical realm and gives us a mass amount of experience to help us develop, both as a species, but more importantly, as an individual. So as we develop, as we grow, as we reach a certain maturity and wisdom and capability, or as some would say, we learn to walk. Ascent is kind of learning to walk. So instead of our soul constantly sending a small fragment, remember, each incarnation is only a small fragment. The entirety of who we are can't fit in these meat suits. So as those fragments continue to go through and learn, that's reincarnation. That's why there can be a ghost of you and you still alive, because they're two different portions of the entirety of you. Ascent, however, you learn to walk. We're not running. We're still babies. You know, you've seen what a baby's like when it just learns to walk. But they've learned to walk. That would essentially be ascent. At that point, you would then leave the cycle of reincarnation, become the entirety of who you are, maintaining the personality that primarily achieved it, which is usually the personality at the time of achievement. And then you start learning anew. Only now you're learning because you're traveling and learning amongst the multiverse in non-physical planes, because you have become a non-physical being and you continue to learn and grow on that side. Does that make sense? That's the short version. So, all right, people, we have crossed our hour tonight. I need to get off here and get some more work done. Let's see. Wow, now I really need to ascend on this left. So, y'all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. If you're in my area, they're talking about flash flooding in some areas, so please be careful if you're anywhere around here. But do have a great weekend. Keep up with the research. Again, go back and watch the vlog because, like I said, I apologize for the time I posted it. That was a complete mistake. Everyone, raise a glass and laugh at me because that was horrible. And I apologize for everyone who missed the notification because of when it did release. I do apologize for that. If you haven't joined the Discord, pop over there, join us. We have a lot of fun in there. Some days are more active than others, but it's a great community over there. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel, some of you saw we had a few members join tonight, like Luna. There's a join button down there, 3 different tiers. Each tier has different perks. Check out the perks. See how much support you want to give and what perks you might be interested in. And we are trying to add more perks to each tier as we grow this. We also do have a Patreon if you're interested in that one, though Patreon's been acting weird. Just fair warning on that one. And of course, if you haven't already, check out workingdragonmystic.com where the school is. Check out some of the classes. We've had a lot of great compliments on those classes. You guys have been amazing. It's great to see so many enjoying those. And of course, don't forget to check out Jade's shop. I will make sure there is a link posted below this in the description or in the comments as soon as I can. And with that, everyone, you have a fantastic night and a great weekend. And I will see you Sunday for Magical Coffee Hour. All right? Take care. Good night.